Hello, YouTubers and Homeworld fans. I recently started playing this game called Empyrion. It's been out for actually a while now. It came out, I think, like last year, over a year ago now. For whatever reason, I hadn't heard about it. A friend of me told me about it just the other day. So I started playing it. He let me borrow his game on Steam, and so I started playing it. And I've been blown away just with the level of detail, with the mechanics that they have in play. It seems like the developers have really put a lot of thought into pretty much every aspect of the game. That said, it does have some weird kinks and bugs, like the fact that, you know, if you log out, you might not log back in and be the same place you were when you logged out. Stuff like that is kind of weird, but overall the game is fantastic. It's great. Now, the reason I said Homeworld fans in the beginning is because if you are a fan of Homeworld, there are some ships that have made it into the game that you might, you know, blow your way, like this one right here. Now, if you're a fan of the series, you know that this is the carrier for the Hiigarans in Homeworld 2. And the creator, I have to give the creator a lot of credit because he really put a lot of detail. I always wondered how the inside of that carrier or some of those ships might seem, and you can really tell that whoever created it, actually I know who it is, I'll put his name down in the credits below, put a lot of thought into it. itdocman, you know, it looks very familiar. It looks exactly like it does in the game. It even has the side you know, entryways for when the ships are coming in to dock. It has the front ones as well. So if you come in to the side entryways, you'll see that the ships exit out the front. I've even gone ahead and loaded some ships into the bay area here. It also has this large, you remember the frigates would come out of this one right here. This is where the frigates would come out of the carrier at. I went ahead and loaded some larger ships, not fighters, but some other larger ships in the game. If you're a fan of Battlestar Galactica, you might recognize those actually. But yeah, this is a fantastic ship. I just wanted to give you guys who are huge fans of Homeworld like I am, a sneak peek of what this ship looks like. And you know, if you've ever wondered what the inside of it could possibly look like, this is it. It even has the you know, the double layered exit and entry system, you know, where some ships would come out the top and some would come out the bottom, and you could have those, you know, 4 ships coming out at once. So let's go ahead and just take a look on the inside of this ship as well. It is quite a huge ship. It's a carrier, so it's large, as you can imagine. Has lots of storage facilities. In Empyrion, there are lots of mechanics, like I said, so you do have to have cargo space, you do have to have an oxygen generator, you do have to have generators for energy, you have to have a farm for food. So a lot of the space, you have to have ammo for the guns. These are all the ammunition crates for all the guns on the ship. So yeah, you do have to, you know, use the space well if you want to make sure that it actually functions. It's not just pretty, but it also functions. So these are the Raptors from Battlestar Galactica that I loaded into this bay here. They're just ready to go. You can jump in and start flying out. The only thing with this game is, you know, there is PvP. So with this wide opening area here, you might not necessarily want that. Someone could just literally shoot your ships that are you know, landed here. But you know, this is how it is in the game, and I actually like that he kept to that form. And it's a carrier anyway, so no one really should be getting that close to attack these ships in the first place. Another ship from Battlestar Galactica, the Viper Mark II. I went ahead and landed it right here in the side entryways. So let's go take a look at the rest of the ship. So, overlooking the hangar, you have you have a couple walkways. These walkways lead to the area that I was showing you just a moment ago, the little cargo area. I don't even know what's up here. Ah, well, we'll go up there later. Okay, so you have these sort of catwalks overlooking the hangar, so you can have people monitoring the status of the ships, you know, overlooking the battlefield. And here, which is offset from the top hangar bay, the top exit, I should say. I don't know what the technical term is, but the exit way up top. You have this, I guess, sort of passenger area. You have your O2, your oxygen. I guess this is where this would be a briefing room. It looks like that's what this is, and it's you know, perfectly located because this is where these ships would fly off the deck. So you have your briefing room for your pilots who are ready to go. They can just run out and immediately get into their ship and fly off out the exit. You have more oxygen tanks. I believe that this is a generator. So you have your generators for energy on the ship. And I'll just show you that, you know, just so you can get a sense of the scale of the ship. Now that's a sneak peek at another ship I'll show you in a bit after I'm done with this one. But yeah, so you just jump in your ship, you fly off, and you're ready to go. Which is pretty cool. And of course, you have the other deck down there. Oh, well, you can see that one. That's the Vagry Carrier. You've seen it. I can't help it. We're going to take a look at that one too. So these things are pretty much like elevator shafts. Nice. So let's go back across the catwalk and get back. So on the other side is just another catwalk. You can see through it to see the ship, the Vagry Carrier, the Vagry Battlecruiser over there. But it's just another catwalk. There's nothing on it. You can customize these ships to sort of add anything that you might want on it. So up on the top level, this is farm. These are plots of soil. You can grow food here. I guess this would be like a cafeteria area, and somewhat of a lounge, and of course another briefing area because you can never have too many of those. And this is right off of the how do you get out here? Yeah, this is the top of the ship. So you've seen these. I mean, if you played the game, you know this. I don't know that you would actually have people in that little hump that's on the ship. But let me go ahead and turn my jetpacks on. Yeah, so this is very true to the actual form. I wish I could do a side-by-side of the actual Hiigaran Carrier, but you have that huge hump, and I guess in this guy's imagination, he figured that it would be an area where you know, people would be, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a little exposed, but hey, the whole ship is exposed, and there's no reason anyone should get close to you in the first place. You know, it has the gun placements. You know, the gun placements are very accurate. It's well armed. It can actually pack a punch. But, you know, it's not meant to be on the front lines, really. So, you have this, you know, I guess it's sort of like an observation slash growing area. You know, if there is a fight going on, I wouldn't want to necessarily be up here with all this glass. You know? But it is a nice observation deck. You know, you can look out, see the stars, see the Vagry Battlecruiser over there. So that's this little hump over here. Now, I don't think that one, the one that we're looking at, that little hump over there, I don't think there's anything you can do in there. Let's see what's down here. Oh, okay, this is just another way to access that. So let's go back across now. The ship is huge. You would want at least, I'm guessing at least 20 people, you know, minimum, because you need your pilots for the ships, you need your pilots for the carrier, you need your security crew in case someone tries to board you, and of course you want a couple people to gun, and maybe one or two people to help manage the flow of traffic on the vessel. So I'm guessing you need at least, you know, 20 or so people, a couple dozen. Now this in this game you do have to have warp drives. You have to have every component in order for the ship to work. So this is the warp drive room, or the engine room. This is another generator for electricity. So it's well thought out. He didn't just create the outside of the ship. He thought about how the inside, where everything would be. And the warp drive is, it's really in the center of the ship. It's well protected. There's lots of layers of defense around it, which is what you would want for a carrier, because you want that thing to be able to move despite the damage that it's taking. That's just another side of the catwalk. I think it's really cool how this is all glass, so you can see down in there, and there's lots of glass so you can see outside of the ship. I don't know what this is. This is just nothing, I guess. I think this is, I don't know exactly what this was, a meeting room, I'm guessing. It's just sort of an odd placement. I guess you would call this the CIC, Command and Control. But usually the Command and Control, I think, is near the bridge, and as you're about to see, the bridge is a little bit further away from here. So this would be the CIC right here. You're right near the hangar bay, right near the warp drive. You have an overview of everything. Alright, now where's the bridge? Here we go. The bridge definitely is my favorite part. It's simple, lots of visibility. Those are the engines, those massive engines on the carrier. And this is the view. Now that is another ship. If you've played Homeworld, you know what that is. That is the Hiigaran destroyer. It's huge. It's huge. Now it's actually bigger than the carrier, which I think is a mistake. But obviously it was created by someone different than who created the carrier. So he just created it to the scale that was in his mind. I think that destroyer and this cruiser should have swapped in terms of size. The cruiser should be the size of the destroyer, and the destroyer should be the size of the cruiser, in order to keep it, somewhat in line with how the actual game is. Because that destroyer is about three times the size of this carrier, and if you played Homeworld, you know that's just not true. The destroyer, if anything, is slightly smaller than the carrier, or about the same size. But that thing is huge, as you will see once we get out there. But I love this bridge. I always imagine how would it look to be on the bridge of that carrier, overseeing the battlefield. Because it is a glass enclosed carrier bridge. When you play the game, you see that. I guess they have maybe some shielding or something, God, what is it called? The types of shields that you can't see, but God, not warp shields. Fuck, not laser shields. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. But the invisible shields that, block stuff from coming in.
User joined your channel.
So, yeah, I love this bridge. And you can actually fly the ship from the bridge. You can move it. It's a little bit, I don't like doing it from this view because your perspective is kind of thrown off. So you can fly third person as well, which is better. Let's see if we do that. Yep, you can see how big that destroyer is. It's silly, it's ridiculous. And that carrier, the Battlecruiser, a very powerful ship. I'd like to see the Battlecruiser go up against this destroyer. Frankly, I think the destroyer would win just because the guy made it silly big. But they're both very well armed. And the carrier is pretty well armed too. I don't think it'll take on either one of these, but it could take a hell of a fight. But that's not its role anyway. Its role is to carry ships into the battlefield and get them back safely. And that's something that this ship does, I think, very well. Lots of space for the ships, lots of, docking area, lots of landing pads. and I think the flow of it is pretty easy. If a ship needs to come in for repairs, it can come in from the sides, these two side doors. It can come in from the one of the two front doors, or it could come in from this massive opening right here. Now, the only thing is, like I said before, you wouldn't want this really up close in the battle. You want this to be off a ways a little bit, so it doesn't take direct hits, because with these many openings, given that I know, you know, since I've learned a little bit about the game, I know that all of this is hardened still in combat still, and I know it can take some hits, but still, you wouldn't want this to be, you know, all exposed. So yeah, this is the Hiigaran Carrier, which, you know, is great. I love it. Now, just as an added bonus, these are the Hiigaran fighters. If you've played, you know what they look like, and this is them. Those Hiigaran fighters in Homeworld 2. I have two of them up here. Let me get out. Let me just fly it and take it for a spin so you guys can see. So, here they are. Looks almost exactly like it. Let's see how it looks in terms of size compared to the carrier. Now, if you've played the game, you have that visual of they would come out in doubles and pairs. You would see two coming out the ship in the front, and yeah, it's about the same size. It's pretty accurate in terms of the size of the fighter compared to the size of the carrier. Now you'll see what I'm talking about when we talk about this destroyer. I mean, look how ridiculous it is. I mean, the thing's huge compared to the carrier, and in Homeworld, was not how it was. This destroyer is just ridiculously big. It's
User disconnected
big
from your channel.
Now, if that were the Battlecruiser, I would say yeah, but a destroyer, no. I mean, come on, it just wasn't that big. So that is the carrier. I love this carrier. I'm gonna try to build it in one of the multiplayer servers. Right now I'm in just creative mode, so I can pretty much spawn whatever I want. And I just spawned this so we could do a walkthrough and I could show it to you guys, because it's awesome. And if you're a fan of Homeworld, you love this. I know you guys love it. How could you not? These are the guns. Has lots of gun placements. I think it has more guns than the actual ship had in the game. But, you know, in this game you need them. But it's not overbearing. It's not too many, I don't think. I don't think it's too many. It's not distasteful. It is keeping sort of in line with how the game actually was. These are all plasma cannons, I think. Let's see if I can... And this is a turret. I think they're all plasma cannons. So it has a number of plasma cannons. It has... There goes the sensors array, which we've all seen before. More plasma cannons. Those huge engines on the back. Yeah, so it's well armed, well equipped, and the layout is perfect. I mean, I couldn't have imagined it better in terms of what the inside of the ship will look like. I think this is exactly, if this was in the Homeworld universe, this is what it would be. I think this is how it would exist and what it would look like interior and exterior, and I just love it. Okay, so what should we look at next? The destroyer or the battlecruiser? Let's go with the destroyer really should be its own video, because I mean it's just silly big. So let's go with the battlecruiser. I think I'll do the destroyer. I'll do its own video for it because that thing's just ridiculous. And this one's a lot more simple. So let's get the exterior first, the outside of it. You know, it looks very much like the real thing. It even has those massive guns on the front. You guys remember those forward-facing guns on the battlecruiser? Look at that. Ridiculous. I think I counted it. It's like 12, those 12 rocket launchers. These are rocket launchers that shoot your missiles. And that's exactly how it is in Homeworld. It shoots tons of missiles at you and kills you from afar. Then it has these huge guns on the side. Now notice, unlike the carrier, which has all those openings and entryways, this thing doesn't have any. There's not a single door on the exterior. This is all just hardened steel. No like points of vulnerability. So you know this thing can last long in a fight. The only two entryways are these back hatchways that get you to the landing pad. Because the Battlecruiser wasn't a carrier, but it could carry a few ships. And so as you can see, these are the this is the landing bay, and you could fit maybe like 6 or 8 fighters in here. Not too much, but you could fit about 8 fighters in here. Now this one isn't as well fleshed out as the interior of the carrier. This is a different person who made this ship. The guy who made this, his name was Equinox. He made this Battlecruiser. He did a good job, but again, it's just not as fleshed out as the inside of the carrier. I felt like that one was had a better layout, you know, was more aesthetically pleasing, and was just sort of like everything sort of matched and went together. So this really isn't that much to look on here. You have the farm, which is up here, all the farmland. You have the generator for the power, and then you have the bridge. So I mean, this one's really simple. It's just one long spine, you know, from the front to the back. The back is the landing pad, and then you just walk all the way up front through the spine of the ship to get to the very well secured bridge. I mean, look at this. This is like in the interior of the ship, many layers and layers of steel between you and the outside world. Now the disadvantage is you can't fly this from first person, but with a capital ship, I don't know if you would anyway, you can only fly it from third person perspective. So it's a huge ship. Very big ship. I mean, when you compare this to the size of a fighter, for instance, it's huge. But when you're looking at it like this, it doesn't seem quite as big, just because the way the camera, the angle is, but it's huge. And it would take a lot of resources to build this in an actual server. Alright, so that is the Vagry Battlecruiser and the Hiigaran Carrier. Let me just give you guys a view of the carrier with that same camera. Force field. That's what I was thinking of. The force field. So maybe this thing has force fields outside of it. At least I hope it does. This is the Hiigaran Carrier. Looks almost precisely like the real thing. I absolutely love this ship. I'm so happy the guy made it. And actually spent the time to put the detail into it. Because it's one thing to make it, it's a whole nother to like actually, you know, think about where would this go and where would that go, and, you know, why was there so much glass on the ship? It's loaded up with some Colonial Raptors and other ships, Viper Mark II. The bridge is right there on the side, looking onto the battlefield. And this ship is just going to be a lot of fun to try to make on a different server, on a populated server, and see if it can actually, you know, function as a good carrier vessel. I want to try to build this. I want to try to build the Battlecruiser and the Destroyer. I'm hoping that someone comes up with the Battlecruiser. If they don't, I guess I'll just have to take up the task myself. But yeah, that's all I want to show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it, you know, made you excited, because it certainly did for me. And I'll try to do a video of the Destroyer. If you guys want to see that, let me know, and I'll do a video of that. until next time, Naughty Dog signing off.